This time to shed light more about Digital Cities program is the Director of ICT Industry Development Bureau of the Department of Information, Communication and Technology, or DICT. Serving the public for almost 20 years, Ms. Delfin is so passionate about creating positive changes in the lives of Filipinos, most especially in the countryside, through the ICT industry development programs.
Hello, good afternoon. Sorry, I think my connection was lost earlier. So you can see me now.
Yes,
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's nice to be here. First of all, of course, I'd like to greet the DOST family led by Sec Boy de la Peña, of course, Yusek Gev, Director Eric, and the entire DOST family. Thank you so much for inviting the DICT to present today the Digital Cities program. Of course, I'd like to greet my fellow speakers, fellow public servants, partners from the private sector, from the academe. I've seen a lot of representatives from the academe to all the representatives from the LGUs, to all the participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm not sure if is my connection not okay? Can you confirm, please?
Hello, Director Emmy.
Yeah.
Everything is well. Losing. Okay, now you're back again.
Sorry. Okay. All right. So can you see my screen now? Oh my gosh. Hello, hello, hello.
All right. Now we can see your screen, ma'am.
Okay. I'm sorry kung kailan naman ako na mag-represent, saka naman naglolo ko yung connection ko. But anyway.
Kaya kailangan na talaga natin ng smarter internet connections. Yes, ma'am.
DICT. So it's clear now? So okay na ba?
Yes po.
Let me know kung medyo choppy so I can repeat what I'm saying, no? But okay, so I'm here today to present to you the Digital Cities program of the DICT. For many past years, we've been implementing this. Kanina, the presentations were about the smart city, but digital cities is about, mas talent-centric siya because this is about bringing ICT opportunities outside of Metro Manila. But before I present the details of the entire program, just would like to give you an overview about why the DICT is implementing this program. Because as you may know, aside from our mandate of providing connectivity to all the different parts of the country, even helping government agencies embrace digital transformation, part of our mandate is ICT industry development. And of course, you can see there that part also of our mandate is countryside development. So one of our key missions in DICT is to ensure the growth and competitiveness of the ICT-enabled industries that will result to the creation of more jobs. So it's good that there are a lot of participants from the academe because one critical role of the academe is the talent availability. Okay, but before that, the Digital Cities program is basically, of course, aligned with our Philippine Development Plan, particularly Chapter 9, which is about expanding economic opportunities in industry and services through trabaho and negosyo. And so one of the priority sectors identified in the PDP under services is the BPO industry or IT BPM industry. So if you can hear me say BPO, business process outsourcing, or IT BPM, information technology, business process management, they're one and the same. So basically, the Digital Cities program is bringing BPO jobs to the different parts of the country, particularly in the digital cities. And also in the recent executive order, there's an interagency group committee that also, of course, pushes for different employment opportunities in the country, and that IT BPM or BPO has been identified as one of the priority sectors. So let me just give you an overview about the BPO industry before going to why we are bringing this to the digital cities. And as you may know, this industry, which we've been, supporting for the many past years, for more than a decade now, this actually brought the Philippines to be the #1 in the world in terms of contact center or voice-based services. And for many years, as you can see here, there are a lot of global companies coming to the Philippines, investing here because of our great talents. So from, as you can see here, from 1980s hanggang recently, no? And in fact, this is actually, IT BPM industry is one of the most resilient sectors in the country, despite the challenges brought about by COVID. So even last year, the other sectors have been affected, but this sector was not, because it still actually contributed 23,000 direct jobs to the Philippines. And it has continuously been one of the resilient industries in the country. And in fact, for next year, our goal is to be able to generate 130,000 direct jobs only for this industry. And when I talk about the BPO industry, if I may just inform everyone, BPO industry is not just about the contact center or the voice-based services, because it's also composed of other sectors that include, of course, the animation, game development, health information management, software development, and the global in-house centers. So those subsectors actually comprise the entire BPO industry. So what is now the relevance of the Digital Cities program towards the promotion of the IT BPM industry? And as we know that every year we graduate around 500,000 jobs. However, 75% of these graduates are actually working in Metro Manila. Pero yun nga, 75%. So we want to decongest Metro Manila. We want to bring those jobs to where the people are. So that's why we've been implementing the Digital Cities program, basically to promote inclusive growth, to bring those jobs to those graduates, so that instead of them coming to Manila, they will just stay in their provinces or cities to be with their family, when at the same time having their own employment. No? So the Digital Cities program is a collaboration among the Department of Information and Communications Technology, IBPAP, or IT and Business Process Association of the Philippines is the umbrella association of all the BPO companies in the Philippines, but it also has subsector associations. No, as I mentioned, there are 6 subsectors under the BPO industry. And also another partner of DICT and IBPAP is Litio Property Consultants in the implementation of the Digital Cities program. We've been implementing this for the many past years already, since 2007, and we used to call it the Next Wave Cities program, but we just rebranded it sometime in 2016 to Digital Cities program, because we would also like to cover not only promotion of the BPO industry, but also promotion in the startup economy, startup community, making the Philippines a global leader in the Philippine startup ecosystem, and also other industries like the online freelancing or industry or gig economy, and other innovation-related initiatives. So as you can see here, we have 6 centers of excellence. We have Metro Manila, Cebu, Clark, Bacolod, Davao, and Iloilo. So meaning these are cities that have more than 25 direct jobs in their areas, and at least accommodating more than 5 or 10 major BPO locators. And then we have 7 next wave cities. So Baguio, Cagayan, Dasmariñas, Dumaguete, Lipa, Naga, and Santa Rosa. And all of these cities have currently major BPO locators. And as I think I forgot to mention that currently the BPO industry is employing 1.3 million jobs. And out of the 1.3 million jobs, 300,000 jobs are actually outside of Metro Manila. So for us to be able to bring more locators and provide more opportunities outside of Metro Manila, we have announced the 25 digital cities last year. So as you can see here, I saw some participants coming from this city. So congratulations. I saw representatives from Zamboanga, from Palawan, and other from Pangasinan also. So this is the list of our Digital Cities 2025. So however, when you say 25, but actually 31 cities because there are 3 clusters, no? Yung Laguna cluster, which is composed of Calamba, Los Baños, and San Pablo. Metro Cavite, which is composed of Bacoor, General Trias, and Imus, and Metro Rizal, which is composed of Antipolo, Cainta, and Taytay. But the question is, so how can a city become a digital city? So based on a 4-point evaluation criteria, this industry scorecard actually was developed by the industry themselves. They're the ones telling us, okay, what are the requirements for them to be able to locate in a particular city? And these are the 4 metrics or parameters for a city to become a digital city. So 4, 1 is talent availability. 2nd is infrastructure availability. 3rd is cost of doing business. And the last one is business environment and risk management. So under the talent availability, this is important and critical, especially for the people from the academe, because you have a very critical role, significant role to play in terms, of bringing jobs to those cities. So these are the different metrics. So in terms of the number of graduates from college, higher education, senior high, and even the schools, no, graduates, so kasama dito. And those cities that have number of schools with centers of excellence and centers of development, and even the number of non-graduates, or what is the working age population, and the absorptive capacity of the city to get more locators. Then the second scorecard or metric is availability of infrastructure. So these are the different parameters in terms of hotel availability, the road quality, availability of international flights, whether it's domestic, international, and the frequency of flights, availability of real estate, and very important, availability of telecoms infrastructure, and also the power infrastructure. The third parameter is cost of doing business. So here we look at the minimum wage, real estate rental, and power rates. So we compare from one city to another as to the rates and wages. And then the last parameter is business environment and risk management. This is very critical for the investors because they always look for a PEZA certified IT park or IT building. And also another consideration is the safety and security. So they also look at the travel advisories if there are from the embassies here. And another critical role of the ICT Council. So this is a multi-stakeholder organization that is composed of the local government units, the academe, the private sector, and the government agencies, provincial and regional. And also, another consideration is the availability presence of local incentives. And they will also look at vulnerability to natural disturbances. And again, the safety and security through looking at the crime rates per 100,000 population. So those are the things that the investors, BPO investors, are looking for. And so that when they make the decision, ito yung tinitingnan talaga nila. So the Digital Cities Program objective is to be able to really start BPO locators to these 25 cities by 2025 and eventually generate jobs in the countryside by 2025. And to be able to achieve the targets, the goals of the Digital Cities Program, it is actually critical for a multi-stakeholder organization or the collaboration of the different key players from the academe, the industry, the private sector, we're talking here of the chamber, real estate, telecom providers, and the government, the local government units, the national government agencies, provincial offices, and regional offices, so that all those parameters can be addressed by the different stakeholders and players. So this is just a rundown of the different stakeholders that should be part of that ecosystem, from industry players to real estate developers to infrastructure to local government units to national government and universities and schools. So as if I may share that a lot of the different digital cities have been very successful in really getting investments, is that they really work together as one very active ICT council that makes up all the different key players. And to be able to achieve the different goals or targets of those cities, the Digital Cities Program Steering Committee, composed of the three organizations I mentioned earlier, different interventions have been identified. So these are four. One is institutional development, talent development and attraction, infrastructure development, marketing, and promotions. So the DICT, through our bureau, because it's our bureau that's taking the lead in the implementation of this program, we've been working closely with the local government units through our regional offices or clusters and the ICT Council that makes up the different key players. So just to share with you what are the different specific initiatives per intervention. For example, the DICT, together with different partners, we helped establish, first of all, establish an ICT Council, because one very important question that the locators also ask is that, is there an active ICT Council? And through that, we also help conduct strategic planning workshops and other workshops, but eventually helping the digital city develop their local ICT roadmap. And in that roadmap, they should be able to identify their goals or targets. And from there, we actually help them implement the different action plans or interventions for a particular city. And under the talent development intervention, some of the initiatives under this are, for example, upskilling and reskilling for the digital cities. We also work closely with the private sector partners like IBPAP in terms of conducting online career fairs, local awareness fairs, so we can invite more people, talents, to join the industry. And another intervention is infrastructure development. As you may know, that the DICT is implementing several infrastructure development programs. I'm talking about the National Broadband Program and the Public Free Wi-Fi. And of course, the major telcos and other telecoms companies have a very critical role here also. So nandiyan po sila. And then the last intervention is the marketing and promotion. So part of this is we actually help the cities craft their own marketing strategy and their own branding. So, and even part of that is doing B2B or business matching sessions from our digital city to the potential investors through our partners from the private sector. So these are the four interventions to actually help the cities have potential investors, and then, of course, bring BPO jobs to their cities. And I would like to share that of the 31 cities, we're able to actually help 13 cities to be able to complete their roadmap. And so these are the cities that have roadmaps already, because we actually tell them that, for example, the DICT cannot implement something if you don't have a direction or your specific plans for your city. And so in June this year, we actually launched together with them, with the 9 cities, this Digital Cities Roadmap. So ito po yung kanilang roadmap, and each city has its own target. For example, some of them will target to generate like 15,000 jobs by end of 2025. Some of them would say they want to be the animation hub in the country. So these are the things that we've been working closely with the digital cities, the local government units, the academia, and the different key players. And this is the list of our cities. So the roadmaps are being completed. And since we're the last quarter of this year, the other cities will be actually have the roadmaps for next year. After all, the Digital Cities program is until 2025. No? And however, I would like to emphasize that the Digital Cities program is not only the role of the DICT, while we are the agency lead in this program, but of course, a collaboration from the different government agencies is critical, no, for them to be able to help our cities become successful in getting locators and in providing jobs to their constituents. So under the talent development, for example, the role of CHED, TESDA, and DepEd is very critical because they have their own training programs as well that they can actually bring to those digital cities. In terms of infrastructure development as well, the role of Department of Tourism by, giving hotels, providing hotels, and of course, improving, also promoting the city. PEZA as well, because we need them for the PEZA real estate properties as well. And of course, the ICT for our infrastructure program. In terms of institutional development intervention, we would like to, of course, ask help from DILG and NEDA as well in terms of, helping the city improve their digital city ecosystem. Marketing and promotion, of course, the role of the Department of Trade and Industry is very critical here. So what I'm trying to say is that it really needs a whole of government, whole of nation approach in terms of supporting our digital cities. So that's why a few weeks ago, we have our first Digital Cities Multi-Agency Task Force composed of these government agencies. And we're happy that the different government agencies have been very cooperative. In fact, they're already excited to be working with us. And we're actually looking forward to have a formal MOU, MOA with them so that we can really definitely help our digital cities bring job opportunities to their cities. And of course, again, instead of those talents coming to Manila, so they will just stay there together with families. No? So I think this is my last slide. So I'd like to thank again the DOST for the opportunity to present the Digital Cities program. And of course, DOST is part of the multi-agency task force here because of course of their mandate as well in terms of providing improving innovation, even providing upskilling and reskilling like Sparta and other initiatives. So thank you so much for this opportunity and congratulations for this program, for this event. And the DICT will continue to be, of course, working with the digital cities, and together with the government agencies, will be here to support all the initiatives of our cities. And we hope that aside from the 31 or 25 digital cities, we hope to add more cities after this year. So once again, thank you so much for having me.